This event is brought to you by Cornerstone Policy Research. Cornerstone is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that runs solely upon donations. Cornerstone is dedicated to preserving New Hampshire's traditional values, limited government, and free markets through education, information, and advocacy. Our vision is to create an environment in which strong families, the foundation of our society, can lead New Hampshire into a new era of prosperity and strength. Cornerstone as an organization has been actively involved in education issues and legislation here in the state of New Hampshire, with Anne-Marie Banfield leading the charge. Anne-Marie is Cornerstone's education liaison and is a tireless advocate for parental rights in education. She's right here, by the way. Thanks to her hard work and dedication, we are here tonight. It is our hope that you will learn more about Common Core standards and what they mean for our education system here in the state of New Hampshire after listening to our expert panelists here tonight. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this event, and a special thank you to the New Hampshire Institute of Politics for hosting us here tonight. Now, I would like to invite Anne-Marie to come forward and begin tonight's program. Thank you.
Happy Constitution Day! Good evening. My name is Anne-Marie Banfield and I am the Education Liaison for Cornerstone. I want to start by thanking all of you for coming. This is a great turnout. I'm pleasantly surprised and very happy that you're here with us. I think it shows the interest that people have in education, especially on Common Core. I certainly want to thank St. Anselm for allowing us to host this event. For Americans for Prosperity and for New Hampshire Families for Education. If you haven't visited their table in the back, please do before you leave. I want to thank Ashley, certainly, for coordinating this event and being one step ahead of me the entire way. I'd call her up on the phone and, do we have this? She's like, oh yeah, I've already taken care of that. Very nice to have that support. I definitely want to thank our honored guests tonight for being here. Some of them have come from California, Atlanta, Georgia, Massachusetts. And I want to thank them for their time and their expertise and coming here to share their information with you. I just want to take a couple minutes and tell you something about myself because I think it's important to know what I do for Cornerstone. I'm a mom and I have 3 children. I have 2 in college. I have 1 going into high school. And I began researching education when my oldest son went into kindergarten, so it's been a very, very long time, as you can see. I wanted to basically do it for my own purposes, to kind of guide my kids through the education system and get them a good quality education. I was kind of doing it for myself. But as I started connecting with these experts around the country, I found a lot of good information. I began sharing it with other parents because I thought, well, if this information is helping me, it's got to be helping other parents if I share it with them. And school board members and teachers. And so I started sending out information just kind of as an FYI. You know, here's some information, do with it what you want, read it, throw it in the trash, whatever you want to do with it. But it really helped me, so I'm hoping that, you know, anybody who's on my email list is getting some good information. Eventually that led me to Cornerstone. I volunteer for Cornerstone. Everything I do on my own with their great support behind me. Some people have asked me why I do this, and it's very simple. I do it because I believe this is the right thing to do. That's it. That's it. That there's no other reason. When I started researching education, I found that a lot of people did not focus on academic excellence, and that's one of the things that I wanted to focus on. So the people I connected with, the people in front of you, the people around the country, focused on academic excellence. And there's a lot of people in education reform that do not focus on that. And that's not to say that some of those things are not important, but my focus was, how do I make my kids, your kids, smarter? That's my focus. That's their focus. Researchers like me saw national standards coming a long time ago, so we're not surprised that they're here. This has been in the works for a very long time. I'm going to introduce our guest tonight, and then we will move to They're going to each have about 15 minutes to kind of explain Common Core and some of the reasons that they don't think that this is a good fit for public education or private schools or homeschoolers. I think we need to hear what they have to say on the subject. So I'm going to introduce them. They're going to have about 15 minutes each to talk, and then we're going to move to questions and answers. And on the brochure, if you see, and we've been advertising that Emmett McGroarty would be here tonight from the American Principles Project. He's not here. He had a minor back injury, and he's doing fine. But Jane Robbins is here to fill in for him, a great substitute, and she's from the American Principles Project too. So I'm going to introduce them, and then we'll move on to their discussion. And if you happen to be on Facebook, there is a Facebook page called Stop Common Core in New Hampshire. If you're interested in reading information, more information after we leave here tonight. Our first guest is Jamie Gass. He comes to us from the Pioneer Institute in Massachusetts. Jamie is Pioneer Institute's Director of the Center for School Reform. The Center for School Reform generates practical ideas that public policymakers, individual schools, and school districts can implement. The center's work is built on the premise that the Commonwealth should uphold its constitutional obligations to all school children by increasing academic rigor and ensuring the quality of educational opportunities. Sandra Stotsky, Professor Emerita, University of Arkansas, is former Senior Associate Commissioner at Massachusetts Department of Education and was in charge of the development of the state's widely praised English language arts standards. Their heavy emphasis on literary study is considered a major reason for the Bay State's first-place scores on NAEP's reading tests. She is one of the foremost authorities on curriculum standards, and she did sit on the Common Core's validation committee and refused to sign off on those standards. She'll explain why. Jane Robbins is an attorney and a senior fellow with the American Principles Project in Washington, D.C. In that position, she has crafted federal and state legislation designed to restore the constitutional autonomy of states and parents in education policy and to protect rights of religious freedom and conscience. Her essays on these topics have been published in various print and online media. With Emmett McGroarty, she co-authored the APP Pioneer Institute report, Controlling Education from the Top, Why Common Core is Bad for America. She has written numerous articles about the problems with Common Core and has testified about the issue before legislatures in 6 states. She is a graduate of Clemson University and the Harvard Law School. Williamson Evers is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institute. He was a commissioner on the California State Commission for the Establishment of Academic Content and Performance Standards. He was appointed by President George Bush to the White House Commission on Presidential Scholars and then served as Senior Education Advisor. In 2007, he was nominated by Bush to be an Assistant Secretary of Education. He has written several columns for publications such as New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles Times, and Christian Science Monitor. You can read more about our guest in the brochure that we've provided. Please join me in welcoming our guest tonight.
Croc TV.